Banished from Earth, Classic Game Room broadcasts from the intergalactic space arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything. Welcome to Classic Game Room, coming to you from the Intergalactic Space Arcade, where I bring you the review of F-Zero GX. What does the GX stand for? Frickin' awesome, because that's exactly what this game is. Thanks to all of you who are supporting the show on Patreon. If you haven't jumped on board yet, do so. Your support keeps the new reviews running ad-free. There's secret videos, podcasts, and all kinds of fun stuff. And those of you backing at Ninja, Assassin, Overlord, and Lord Carnage, check your feed because you get a behind-the-scenes making-of video where I drink a Sex Panther during the recording session, just to make it extra smooth. F-Zero. I don't always drink Sex Panther when recording Classic Game Room, but when I do, it's awesome. Death has never tasted so funky. Captain Falcon, my man! Released in 2003, this is the incredible F-Zero GX for the Nintendo GameCube, one of the most challenging and exciting games that I've ever played, ever. If you've watched this show for a while, you know I love a good futuristic death-sled racing game. Games like Wipeout and Fatal Inertia, and of course, the F-Zero series from Nintendo. In fact, I may go so far as to say this is my second favorite Nintendo game, right behind Mario Brothers. The first one. Love that game. Nintendo made kick-ass arcade games back in the day. And they have one of the greatest racing game series in existence. Why they haven't supported it as much as Mario and Donkey Kong is beyond me. F-Zero is amazing. But it is really challenging, I think more than any other racing game that I've ever played. Track memorization plays a critical role here. If you don't know what turn is coming up next, you'll die and explode. Not necessarily in that order. Everything in F-Zero GX is good. Everything. The music, the gameplay, the visuals, the art design, the characters, the controls, the replay value. This game has it all. It even has something for Sega fanboy Mark, seeing as how the game was basically designed by Sega. And while I've never seen it, supposedly somehow it works with the F-Zero AX arcade machine. Get off your seat and dance! I don't know why, but this reminds me of Time Splitters. I love it. His whole game is an insane adrenaline rush, the likes of which you've never felt before. It will burn your eyeballs to a crisp and turn your knuckles into rubber. All for a good cause. To give you a kick-ass rocking time. But when you really get down to it, F-Zero GX is less about racing and more about sheer memorization. If you can't shut your eyes and go all Jedi style on this one, you're not going to win. You've got to be like Rutger Hauer in Blind Fury. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then it's time to go rent Blind Fury on Laserdisc, because it's awesome. You know what else is awesome? This. It feels like Space Channel 5. They should replace this guy with Ulala.
We're broadcasting an interview with the Grand Prix champion.
The next Grand Prix will be held on our planet.
And I will devour your brains. This guy is great. There's a lot of racers to choose from. Each with their own ship and handling characteristics, of course. Numerous tracks, all of which are really good. You can even play split screen with some friends locally on the couch multiplayer. It's got it all. And futuristic. Stereo sound. High five. The control scheme takes some time to get used to. You'll hold down the A button to accelerate and turn with the analog thumbstick, but the triggers are used for more extreme turns or drifting around corners. That takes some time to practice. There's a storyline that you play through in races like this, complete with some animated cutscenes. You unlock the storyline by buying pieces or segments of it with tickets that you win from racing. You can also use those tickets to buy new racers or new future death sleds.
Gonna get you in the Grand Prix!
And you can even customize and assemble your own.
Of course!
It's an enormous game. I've really barely scratched the surface, but from the gameplay standpoint, it's just fabulous. You really can't go wrong with this one, if you like futuristic death sled racing games like I do. I will give you a few words of caution though. It's frustrating, it's challenging. Sometimes winning that last race in a series is more luck than anything. Well, let me clarify. Luck combined with memorization. If you don't know the track like the back of your hand, in fact, how well do you really know the back of your hand? Probably not that well. You should know these tracks better. Otherwise, you don't stand a chance. It's more than just quick reflexes and racing strategy. It's all about memorization. And you can also attack your opponents. You've got a couple offensive moves you can pull off, but I never found any of them to actually help me win a race. Repeat gameplay helped to win races. Well, that and maybe a can or two of Sex Panther. Actually, I don't think beer would go well with this game at all. You need to concentrate really hard when playing F-Zero GX. Don't forget to boost. That gauge on the top right is your damage and boost gauge. They're the same thing, which is fun. So boost sparingly. And I've got a classic game room shout out and thank you to send to David from Hythe, England, for sending this to the show along with Killer 7 and Ikaruga and Resident Evil 4. 4 of the best games on the GameCube. In fact, I think this is my favorite GameCube game. F-Zero GX, where the GX stands for Sex Panther, which I choose to believe was inspired by Panthro from the Thundercats. Although you'd have to ask Chitara to be sure. But I think she may have been into Tigra. Then again, I think Lion-O was also into Tigra. You know, it doesn't matter. Buy this game. It's awesome. F-Zero GX. 16th place, you know what? I'll take it, because I still won the series. It's hard enough just to stay alive in that level. It's murder. What a great game. Ho!
Of course! Retime!
Welcome to the club. It's the Lord Carnage Club, where I give thanks to these backers on Patreon. Starting with Jeff CapDauntles Breyer, Ohad Kanne, Jack Stavros from Australia, Phillip Michael Stiles of Ortona, Philip Straubenmuller of Vienna, Austria, Landon Ellerby, Justin Duran from Palm Desert, California, Steve Chucknick from New Jersey, Sean Zoltek, Rick DeBarros, PIMPTREX, Al Stiver, Chip Senkbeil, Shadow Minion, for Lord Carnage, Busy Signal, Jason from Kamloops, British Columbia, Will, Zach Brenner, Sergio Matthias Hergert, Jim Moriarty, Rob from Palmerston North, New Zealand, Kid Shuriken. See you next time on Classic Game Room Mark III.